We're about a week away from the 2025 NFL Draft, and the trade rumors surrounding the New York Football Giants are heating up. Could a Kayvon Thibodeaux trade be coming, with the New York Giants expected to draft Abdul Carter? That is what one NFL insider said, and according to Raanan of ESPN, the New York Giants have reached out to the Philadelphia Eagles to check in on veteran tight end Dallas Goedert. We got a lot more to talk about on these two topics coming up around the corner, but first make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because if the Giants make a move, we are going to make a video, and I do not want you to miss it. So go down right now, hit that big red sub button, and lock in. We'll break down the Dallas Goedert trade rumors second, but let's start with Kayvon Thibodeaux, as you are watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. If you just go on to Google and type in Kayvon Thibodeaux, you're going to get article after article after article, really kind of just speculating about a trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux. As we know, the New York Giants right now are the betting favorites to select Abdul Carter. And there's been a lot of talk of, well, if you're going to draft Abdul Carter, do you really need Kayvon Thibodeaux? And by this time next year, Kayvon is going to want a big payday. And can you pay Brian Burns a lot of money? Does Kayvon Thibodeaux deserve a lot of money? And if he does, do you pay him that? While also using a number 3 pick on Abdul Carter, 3 years removed from using a top 5 pick on Kayvon Thibodeaux. Ralph Vacchiano, who now covers the NFC East and really the entire NFL for Fox Sports, used to be a Giants insider and beat reporter, long time doing that. He wrote this about Kayvon Thibodeaux, saying, quote, trading a 25-year-old pass rusher who had 11 and a half sacks 2 years ago wouldn't make a lot of sense for a rebuilding team, unless it knows it's got a replacement ready. So this really depends on whether the Giants end up drafting Penn State's Abdul Carter with the number 3 overall pick. If they do, they might conclude that they're not going to pay Thibodeaux big money when his contract expires after the season or after 2026 if they pick up his 5th-year option, especially when they've already committed huge money to DN Brian Burns and defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. It might hurt them in the short term, but a deal could be a long-term help, because a player like Thibodeaux could bring multiple premium draft picks back to the New York Football Giants. Look, this isn't the first time we've heard about the New York Giants potentially trading Kayvon Thibodeaux, and it's definitely not going to be the last. If you add Abdul Carter to this football team, you might as well take a gas tank and pour it on the open flame, because those trade rumors are going to get hotter and hotter. And what I will agree with Ralph Vacchiano is not that Daniel Jones was a bargain contract, maybe the worst article written in sports journalism history, but there is a lot of commitment to the edge rushing room. A number 5 overall pick on Kayvon Thibodeaux. Are you going to pay him big bucks? You're using a number 3 overall pick on Abdul Carter. You paid $150 million to Brian Burns. You just gave Chauncey Goldston a nice 3-year deal worth $19 million. It's a lot to commit to the edge room. And I don't give a shit. I don't have a problem with the New York Giants using a lot of resources to get after the passer, because I got to see not 1, but 2 Super Bowls where the New York Giants had the best pass rush in the NFL, and that's why I got to see Eli Manning holding the Lombardi trophy with the confetti falling on him. Also because Eli is the best quarterback in Giants history and should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, but that's a show for another day. What I'm trying to say is you can never have enough pass rushers, and we should know that as Giants fans. And Kayvon Thibodeaux has got better, I feel like, every single year. He got much better from 2023 to 2024. He didn't get to play all that much because he had that wrist injury, but he was good. I mean, he had 38 pressures in 12 games compared to 43 pressures in 17 games the year prior. And even though he did have 11 and a half sacks in 2023, a lot of those were covered sacks. And even a couple of them were against backup and third-string offensive tackles. And Pro Football Focus, they put their grades to what Kayvon Thibodeaux has done throughout his career. And the grades tell you that despite the sack number being the highest in 2023, that was arguably his worst season when it comes to being graded out. In 2022, his pass rush grade was 67.9, 53rd out of 203 qualifying edges. His run defense in 2022 is actually, according to PFF, his best as a Giant. He was ranked 40th. But in 2023, 93rd as a pass rusher and 148th as a run stopper. In 2024, he returned to the middle of the pack. 35 overall, 35th overall is the right way to say it, Marshall, as a pass rush grade. And his run defense grade was 69th. How nice that is. Pro Football Focus also has a stat that I love. It's called the PRP stat, or the pass rush production stat. It puts all of their stats together of pass rush win rate, sacks, hurries, QB hits, and all of that into one number. And I like to use it when I'm evaluating edge rushers. In 2022, he had the 42nd best PRP score of all qualifying edges, 31st in 2023, and 27th in 2024. So brick by brick by brick, he is getting a little bit better, which is what you want to see. And when you take a look at his true pass rush win percentage, which is how often do you win in pass rush situations that do not include screen passes and that do not include screen passes as well as play action, that's just true pass situations. He had a PRP, or a true pass rush win percentage, of 17.7 in 2024, the 27th best of all edges. In 2023, when he had 11.5 sacks, he was 100th. And as a rookie, he was 35th. So he played good despite the injury in 2024. And I still think that Kayvon Thibodeaux can be a long-term piece for the New York Giants. And I am absolutely crossing my fingers and hoping so, because you picked him inside the top 5. And you need to start hitting on some of these first-round picks, Joe Schoen. And if the Giants want to be good, and the fastest way for them to be good is for him to be an extremely productive player. I do question, though, if he will ever live up to the number 5 overall pick. Because in my viewpoint, if you draft an edge rusher number 5 overall, you need that guy making all-pro teams. You need that guy consistently being a 10-plus sack guy. And you need him to dominate and put fear into the other team. And I'm just not so sure he does that at this point. And I'm not sure if he will ever do that. I sure do hope so, because that would mean the Giants have a badass D-line, even if they don't take Abdul Carter this year. I thought this quote from Joe Schoen's press conference today was intriguing. I'm not saying this about Kayvon Thibodeaux, but it's intriguing what he said. If there's a guy there in the second round that is maybe a backup year one, but maybe we don't have to pay somebody $20 million, you're looking at it that way. Now, who could the Giants be paying $20 million in a couple of years? I don't know, but I think we can connect the dots on a couple of people that could apply to. We do know Kayvon Thibodeaux is entering his 4th year in the NFL, and the Giants have to make a decision on his 5th-year option, which they said they will do after the NFL draft. Interesting timing, considering they might sign a guy like draft a guy like Abdul Carter. Tibbs will want an extension this time next year. Rookies that produce on their rookie deal don't want to play on their 5th-year option, where it's essentially a 1-year deal. He is going to want money and an extension this time next year. The question becomes how much money. And I think a way to figure that out is how good he plays this season. I want to ask you guys this question. Would you trade Kayvon Thibodeaux for a second-round pick right now? Let's say a team called you up that wanted a young veteran pass rusher. You play 4 years in the NFL, you're essentially a veteran, because it's like 2 years is the average life expectancy. So you're a veteran at 4 years. If you want a veteran edge rusher that still has tread left on the tires, and you call the Giants and you offer your second-round pick, if you were Joe Schoen, would you make the trade? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Look, I'll say this. I think it's hard to say no to a second-round pick for Kayvon Thibodeaux. Again, I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's a great player. The Giants are going to have to pay him in a year from now or 2 years from now. And I think they're going to draft Abdul Carter if Travis goes 2. And if Carter goes 2, they're going to draft Travis number 3. I'm not going out and making calls to trade Kayvon Thibodeaux. And honestly, I want to see Kayvon Thibodeaux play with Brian Burns and Abdul Carter and Dexter Lawrence. But shoot, man, if some team called me up and offered me the 45th pick in the 2025 NFL draft for Kayvon Thibodeaux, it would be hard for me to say no. We'll talk more trades in a second, focused on Dallas Goedert, the Philadelphia Eagles tight end, as rumors are coming out, or report coming out more so from Jordan Raanan. The Giants have reached out to the Eagles. But first, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, GameTime. If you're thinking about buying tickets for the upcoming Giants season, the place where you can get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed is with GameTime. And you can use our promo code ChatSports, that's ChatSports, for $20 off your first purchase, where terms do apply. Price actually dropped on the GameTime app as the events get closer. So if you're a procrastinator, kind of like I am, you're going to love this app. You don't want to have to spend the money until you have to. You're going to like this app. You also get to see your seat view inside the app when deciding which tickets you want to buy. It's easy to access your tickets from your phone to get into the stadium. And if you don't want to go to the event anymore after you've already bought the tickets, it is super easy to resell your tickets. Last-minute tickets and flash deals and lowest price guaranteed. The NBA playoffs are also here. And if you want to catch a Knicks game, you're going to want to buy your tickets with GameTime because they are pricey. And you get to save $20 with us. So Chat Sports is the promo code. Saves you $20, and it's going to get you the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. How could you beat that? Also, you can save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater events, etc. So download the app, create an account, use that promo code ChatSports, ChatSports, for $20 off. First purchase returns do apply. What time is it? It is game time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All righty, according to Jordan Raanan via his Instagram live session last night, Giants beat reporter for ESPN, says the Giants have checked in with the Philadelphia Eagles on a Dallas Goedert trade. The Eagles are potentially looking to trade Dallas Goedert because he is due a lot of money this year. He wants an extension, and there's no more guaranteed money on that current contract. What would the price be? Let's start with that. One, I don't know. But Josina Anderson, who's been covering the NFL for a long time, says Philly's looking for a fourth-round pick. Yeah, I'd be looking for a fourth-round pick, too, if I was trading Dallas Goedert. Ain't nobody giving up a fourth-round pick for 30-year-old Dallas Goedert who's due $12 million this year, Josie. Not a shot. Jordan Raanan saying this. I heard at one point the Giants, looked into Dallas Goedert. He sounds like a guy who is going to get traded at some point in the draft. Now, I am not expecting Dallas Goedert to get traded to the Giants, but the fact that they checked in on it definitely made me scratch my head a little bit. It's something they are at least monitoring. Raanan on that same Instagram live saying that the Giants do think highly of Theo Johnson. They think he can be a significant player. We also saw that the New York Giants brought in the University of Miami tight end Elijah Arroyo on a top 30 visit. So just big brain Marsh going on right here, connected some dots. You brought in one of the best tight ends in the draft on a top 30 visit, and you checked in on Dallas Goedert. You can tell me you think Theo Johnson's going to be that guy, but your actions tell me that you think you could also use an additional player at that position. And I'll just say this. Hot take, I'm not sure Daniel Bellinger makes the 53-man roster for the Giants this year. Let's circle in and zone in on Dallas Goedert. Since 2020, he's played in 62 out of 84 regular season games. Just 73.8 games. The Philadelphia Eagles would save $6.6 million if they make him a post-June 1 cut. He has a cap hit, though, of $12 million. And I have a hard time believing that Dallas Goedert is going to play with a $12 million cap hit for the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman is not letting that happen. He's 30 years old, and it's the final year of his deal. He's got a $1.25 million base salary, but a $12 to $14 million cap hit, meaning if the Giants were to trade for him, the cap hit they would have is less than $2 million. He wants a new deal, and in an exploding tight end market. We just saw what Trey McBride got paid. And Goddard's not McBride, but I'm sure he's looking to get a payday as well. The Eagles are clearing money for some of their young guys, and Goedert missed a lot of time. He's played more than 15 games just one time in the last 4 years. 10 games this year, 14 games last year, 12 games in 2022, 15 in 2021. So he doesn't miss seasons or half of seasons, but he does miss time. And the production, in my opinion, is starting to go down a little bit. 42 grabs for 496 yards, 2 touchdowns, 59 grabs for almost 600 yards, 3 touchdowns the prior year. Like, he is still a solid player, no doubt about it, but, like, what are the Giants looking to give up for in a trade? I do think he's one of the top tight ends in football. He's had a lot of postseason success with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a gifted pass catcher. He's good after the catch. He's a valuable blocker, and he's been really good in the playoffs, but he missed a lot of time. 15 missed games in the last 3 years. He's often injured, and he's 30, and as I just turned 30, I can tell you this much. You don't just magically start to heal faster and get better when you turn 30, and he's got that cap hit of nearly $12 million. Josie and Anderson saying they want a fourth-round pick. I talked to Chase Sr., the host of Philadelphia Eagles, and now I said, what do you think Eagles would take in a trade for Goddard. He also told me a fourth. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not trading a fourth-round pick for Dallas Goedert because, one, I know you're going to cut him if you can't trade him. And we know how that works. When a player's on the chopping block, no team's going to give up valuable assets. And I'm also not giving a valuable asset for a 30-year-old tight end who hasn't been able to stay healthy for 17 games one time in the last 4 years. I told Chase Sr., and he laughed at me. I said, we can do a seventh. I'll give you a seventh for Dallas Goedert. I'll give you a seventh for Goddard, or I'll give you a sixth for Goddard, and you got to give me Goddard and a seventh back. One of those six for a seventh that a player swaps. I'm not dying for the Giants to go out and trade for Dallas Goedert. If they do, and it's for a seventh-round pick, sweet. But I'm not giving up any premium draft capital for a 30-year-old tight end whose best days are behind him and is struggling to stay healthy for more than 11 games every single year. What do you think? Do you think the Giants should trade for Dallas Goedert? I think he's a good player. I think he had a really great career. But if Howie Roseman is willing to trade someone to the Giants, what does that say about that player at this point? Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go G-Men.